Hi friends, welcome to Canada Tried and Tested. In today's video, I'll show you how to fill application for Canadian passport for the newborn. I had done this recently for my daughter. It's very simple and straightforward. There were three important things which I had to organize even before I could touch this form. What were they? First one was the long form of birth certificate. If you have watched my previous video, I shared with you how important this document becomes to be the proof of Canadian citizenship for the child as well as proof of parentage. With this one document, I was able to complete almost the entire application. The second thing is passport size photo as per the specification. This was a challenge because I had to do multiple visits to the professional photo studio. I went to Walmart Photo, and after the first failed attempt, I called up the helpline and inquired if I can do this at home as I was not comfortable. There were many suggestions online that this can be done, and that's when the lady on the other side, she informed me that there's a lot of child trafficking which takes place in Canada, and that's the reason why they insist on a professional photographer to take this photo, and at back of the photo the person puts a seal, date when the photo was taken, and it made sense to me. I took 3 visits to get this photograph done. So you may have to consider this. Either you may have to do multiple trips or have patience for a long wait on that particular day when you are planning to take the photo of the newborn. The third important thing is to have a guarantor, and this guarantor has to do this absolutely free of cost. So the requirement is that the guarantor has to be Canadian citizen. He or she should have known you for more than 2 years, and there are other requirements which you can see on the display screen. In case you are not able to find a guarantor, then there is other way through which you can get the document filled. So I am sharing all the relevant link in the description. Please go and visit at your time. The remaining thing like fee, whether to go in person or to send it by mail, those decisions are not as significant as these 3 important things. Without wasting much time, I will take you to the computer screen, and as I do the running commentary, I will also be sharing the tips which I learned throughout this journey of doing this passport application. So let's go to the screen. Okay. You see here, when I type Passport Canada on Google, I am shown this website www.canada.ca. This is the official Canada government website, and it directly shows me Canadian passport and travel document link. And when I come here, apply for child's passport. Let me click here. Okay, this is the child passport section. Here it has detail on COVID impact, about the process, who can apply, how to apply. So you can read at your own time. Again, I'm sharing the link below. How to apply. Once I click here, then this page opens, and here, who are you applying for? A child. Okay, this was in my case. Read the other options, and whatever is suitable, you have to choose that. Where are you applying from? From Canada. How do you want to apply? Now there are 2 options, by mail and in person. In case you have a travel plan in less than 25 business days, then in-person appointment has to be taken. I was more in favor of in-person appointment over by mail. If you are sending document by mail, application, the original long form of birth certificate and the credit card information as well as the passport photo all goes as the document. When the process is done, you get to hear back. But I was not comfortable because this would have taken time, and if there were any error, I would only get to know once the document comes back. And that's the reason why I was looking for an in-person appointment. Now with the in-person appointment, because of COVID, there's a long wait time. When I called the helpline, they said the wait time is almost 4 weeks, and one way I could expedite if it is possible is by making a visit to the passport office, and in case they have a walk-in, I will be able to submit the application. So I took a chance. I went to the passport service office, and when I inquired with the security, he said it's very difficult to have a walk-in because the scheduled appointment is ongoing, and for many days he has not seen any vacant slot. I took a chance. I waited for almost 2 hours, and there was a point in time when nobody was there in the line, and the security allowed me in. Once I went in, the person on the counter, she asked why I have come without an appointment, and I told her that I want to make a travel plan. I don't have a firm travel plan, and I wanted to get this done, and I was not comfortable sending by mail. So she checked my documents, including the original long form birth certificate, which was returned to me then and there, and then I went ahead with the process. So that's the reason why I was in favor of in-person appointment. So I selected in-person, and then once you come down here, this is the child application form. I'll open this. So this is a 8-page application. This is an online version. If you are looking for a physical copy, you can go to Service Canada or Canada Post and just ask the representative. They will direct you where you get this for free, absolutely free. I prefer online because I'm able to type, edit, make corrections, review, and then once I'm sure that everything is done correct, I can just go and take the printout. And while I'm doing this, I also have an option to save. While you're filling this application, always remember to save this so that you don't have to reinvest your time. Okay, so what I will do is I will open up the form which I have already filled. Okay, you see here, this is the filled online application. I have already filled the details so that there is some time saving. I'll just go and do a running commentary and explain how I have filled. Now this application has to be filled in capital letter. Okay, one thing is capital letter using black or dark blue ink. If you're doing it online, you just type and that's it. If you're doing it physical copy, then you have to do with black or dark blue ink. Now this is the photo section where the photo as per the specification will come. Where to find the specification? You see here, Canadian passport photo instruction, and as I said, I just went to the studio. The studio person knew how exactly this photo has to be taken, so this part was entirely taken care by the photographer. I went to Walmart photo studio, and once the photo was taken, on both photo he made this stamp where the address was given and photo taken, date was written. So I used one photo on the application page, and the other photo the guarantor had to sign. Okay, this is where the guarantor signs, and what he has to write: I certify this to be a true likeness of child's name has to be written. So make sure this entry is made correctly. Okay, so this is first step to ensure that this is correct. The one photograph which will not be pasted on application and would be submitted along with the document has to have these details. So as I said, the photographer took care of all the requirement. There are some flexibility for the newborn which is given. You can just read at your convenience. Child's personal information, information of applicant's parent and other parent. The entire information is there in the long form birth certificate. I will mention if it is not there and how I entered. Okay, so given name, surname, directly whatever was there in the long form, same thing here. Place of birth, country, this was also again from the long form. This province and territory section drop down does not work, so don't worry about that. And since the child is newborn, there is no former surname. Okay, then coming to the anticipated date of travel. If you have travel date in mind, then you have to mention this. I had no such plan, so I chose unknown. And then date of birth, sex, this was again in long form. Natural eye color, I was not able to find this in hospital document as well as long form. My daughter's eye color is identical, so I made that entry. Height was there in the long form. Current home address was again in the given in the long form. So current home address is same for all three of us. Any logic? So same address, just ensuring that correctly I'm entering. I ensured apartment detail, city, the province is in drop down. I selected Ontario and then the postal code. Mailing address is same. If it is different, then this has to be entered. And for children under 16 years of age are not required to sign the application form. However, children age 11 to 15 are encouraged to sign this section. So this section, in case children are age 11 to 15, then this is applicable. In our case, we left it blank. This as well as this was left blank for the newborn. Information on applicant parent and other parent. Is the child currently subject of adoption process? In our case, no. Are there any separation agreement? No. Relationship between the applicant. So again, there is a drop down, selected married. If it is a physical copy, it's hard to figure out what to write here. So that's why this online application is a good tool where you can fill all the detail, do a cross check, and even if you like to do a physical copy, save this, and whatever you have made entry, you just have to make the same entry to the physical copy. That way you avoid any mistake. Date of marriage given in the long form. Applicant's detail, given name, current name. There were no former name. If there is a former name, that has to be entered, and then there are documents to validate. I am sharing the link below. You can go and check at your convenience. You will have to submit those documents. Date of birth, country of birth, current home address, telephone number, email address. This is straightforward. You can make these entry yourself. Just make sure the spellings are correct. Here the applicant was my wife and other parent was my detail. Then there is a declaration section where the applicant signs, date is mentioned, and signed at location is mentioned. Similarly for the other parent, I signed here, entered the date and signed at location. So every time I fill a page, I would go and save this, and in case I have to come back, I would keep this as a download after saving. So I just open and whatever I have written is already available with me. I don't have to rework or re-enter. So keep that in mind. As you keep filling, keep saving the document. So you see this document save button, it's there on every page. Coming to previous Canadian travel document, since it's for newborn, no. If it is for children who already have a passport and you have a yes, then the number has to be entered and date of issue has to be mentioned, and then you can read this at your time. Proof of Canadian citizenship. The long form birth certificate was sufficient. Canadian provincial or territorial birth certificate. The long form birth certificate. That registration number was entered, date of issue was entered, it was mentioned in document, same thing was written here, and this space is left blank. This is for those people who have become Canadian citizen later and they get the certificate of Canadian citizenship. They have to enter the certificate number and date of issue. Declaration of applicant. Here my wife had to give her name, surname, relationship to the child as mother, child's name, surname, that had to be entered, and then declaration had to be signed by her, date, signed at city, the city detail was entered and the province was given here. Okay, now this is again an important section, declaration of guarantor. So The guarantor here, in our case, one of our friend who knew us for very long, even before we came to Canada, he was helpful and he said he would be the guarantor. In case you are not able to find a guarantor who meets the criteria and what those criteria are, read this section carefully. Okay, declaration of guarantor. A guarantor is a person other than the applicant parent or legal guardian who can confirm the applicant's identity, has knowledge of the child, and may be called upon to confirm personal information. A guarantor can be other parent or legal guardian. A guarantor must be able to communicate in English or French, be a Canadian citizen 18 years of age or over, hold a 5-year or 10-year Canadian passport. Why this is? Because these entry go into the guarantor page. That is valid or has expired within 12 months of the date of passport program receives this application. Have been 16 years of age or over when the application was submitted for passport identified in section 6 on this application form. Have known you, that is the applicant, personally for at least 2 years. In our case, he knew us for more than 3 years. So to know you personally, to confirm aspect of your personal attribute, you can read the rest of the thing. What is important is this has to be done free of charge. Okay, so this completion of activity has to be done free of charge, and guarantor must complete the mandatory 4 field. I have known the applicant for number of years. I will show you in that application form. Signature of guarantor, date, signed date, and ensure you have completed and signed both of the application before submitting it to your guarantor. Okay, and write I certify this to be true likeness of child's name on the back of one of the photo and sign it. This detail I had already shared. Rest you can read. Let's go back. So guarantor's name, surname, date of birth, Canadian passport number, date of issue, date of expiry, what was given in his passport, and the same entry was made here. And relationship to the applicant, he is a friend, that detail was entered, his telephone number, and then the full name of applicant, that is my wife's name, was entered here, full name of child, that was entered here, and then the guarantor signs and declares I have known applicant for how many years. That has to be written by hand. So that's why when the form is filled, the printout has to be taken, and then on that printout the guarantor has to enter these details: number of years known, signature of the guarantor, date, sign that. So all this has to be completed by the guarantor. Emergency contact information, this is optional. I had left it blank, but just for the purpose of video I am showing, in case you want the details to be entered of the guarantor, that can be made available. Okay, now coming down, this page has a requirement checklist. This is one way to validate that all the documents are in place. Both page of application form completed and signed within the last 12 months, with page 2 signed and dated by the guarantor. So this page and this page is what is getting mentioned. 2 identical and unaltered passport photo of the child taken within the last 6 months, one signed by the guarantor. This also I showed. Proof of Canadian citizenship, original only. The document will be returned to you. So long form birth certificate, I took it in person. The person at the counter validated and handed over back to me. In case it is going by mail, then it is sent back by mail. Any valid Canadian travel document, passport, certificate of identity, or refugee travel document issued to the child. So long form was sufficient in our case. Same goes for acceptable proof of parentage, long form again. All documents including any divorce judgment, mobility or access to child. In our case this was not there. And the fee. So we paid $57 as we went through a normal process. In case you want to go for an expedited process, I am sharing the link below. You will be able to see how much that fee cost. and what is the turnaround time. So this is for Canada. In case someone is applying from US, the fee is different. Okay, and method of payment, Canadian funds only, debit card, Visa card, virtual Visa, debit card, MasterCard. You can go and read this. I'm sure you will have one of these detail. Cash is not taken. Okay, and then in case you're sending it by mail, then you have to fill this detail. If you're going in person, if you're applying in person, do not complete this section. That's why I left it blank. I went in person. So once these details were filled in, save, and then there are details like if you're applying by mail, you can look at the address based on your current location. You can choose the detail. Anticipated date of travel, I did not have one. In case you want to speak and you have any general information, these are the toll-free numbers which you can go and access to. And this child's personal information, everything has been already filled in the application. I've shown you this. In case you want to go and read this in detail, it's up to you. Okay, so all these pages are available with you. Okay, so once this is filled, save, take the printout. I took 4 copies so that in case even one goes wrong, I still have backup and I don't have to worry about the documentation. So once the document was arranged, I verified the checklist, and after which I went in person to the passport services. I handed over the document. They checked the long form birth certificate in original, and that was handed over back to me. I paid the prescribed fee and then waited for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, the Canada Post sent me a note in a mailbox saying the document has arrived and I need to come with a valid proof of identity. Since my wife was the applicant, that detail was shown and we got the passport. After receiving, we checked name and all the particulars are made in correct way. Since everything was okay, we were happy to get the passport. So that was the entire process. I have created timestamp so that you can go toggle and find specific information you want. In case you have any comment, please use the comment section. And I hope you found today's video informative. Do like and share and keep watching Canada Tried and Tested. Thank you.